Today we're going to take a look at these 4 pictures for task 8 on the speaking part of the CELPIP exam. Are you ready? Smash that like button and let's get rolling. Now I'm going to post sample answers for each of these questions over on my Instagram account. Okay, are you following me on Instagram? Just search for madenglishtv and I'm posting a lot of sample answers over there on my Instagram. In this video, I'm not gonna... Got flies buzzing around my head, guys. In this video, we're not gonna talk about sample answers. I want to teach you some really good phrases and vocabulary that you can use for task 8, because task 8 is probably the hardest question on the speaking test. Most people don't really know how to answer it. You're going to see some weird picture and you have to describe it. Task 8 is called an unusual situation. Okay, some unusual scene that you have to describe. So how are you going to do it? Well, the first phrase I want to teach you is a cross between. Now I think it's going to be really helpful for you on a lot of task 8. We don't know which situation they're going to show you. You might be in a store and you have to call your uncle and describe some weird painting. Or you might be in a furniture store and you see some weird piece of furniture. Or you might be in a park and you see something weird, okay? So it's kind of some weird, unusual situation. And the CELPIP people are testing you to see how much like specific vocabulary you know and how you're going to handle a hard situation, right? So let's look at the first picture here. So how would you describe this scene? Imagine the picture said you are in an art store and you need to call your uncle and describe this picture, you know, and ask your uncle if you would like him, if he would like you to buy it for him, right? So how would you start your answer? Well, for task 8, you're always going to be calling someone, right? So it's different than task 3 or task 4. Those are also picture questions, but there you're not calling anyone. Here, they're going to give you something you need to do, okay? So you're going to say, "Hi, Uncle Peter. I'm in an art store right now, and I'm looking at a very weird picture," or something like that, right? And then for the conclusion, you're going to maybe say something like, "Anyway, would you like me to buy this for you?" Or, "Anyway, would you like to join me at the mall? Anyway, would you like me to..." You're probably going to have something you need to do at the end. That would be a good conclusion to ask a question. Okay, so the first phrase is a cross between. Did you know there's an animal, a real animal, in this world that is called a mule? Do you know what a mule is? A mule is a cross between a donkey and a horse. Okay, so it's half horse, half donkey. The phrase we use is a cross between. So this is a really high-level phrase that will help describe what it is that you're looking at. Okay, and it's something you should say at the beginning. So after you say your greeting, "Hi, Uncle Peter. I'm in an art store right now. I'm looking at a weird picture." And then you're going to start describing what's in this picture. There's a creature. Okay. Is it an animal? Well, it looks a little bit like an alien, right? So is an alien an animal? No, an alien is a creature. So the best word to describe this would be a creature. And this creature looks like a cross between you could say an elephant and an alien. Okay? So that first phrase is really important to get a good description of the scene. Let me see, are we still recording? Yeah, we are. Thank you guys for joining me. Hope you pass the CELPIP exam with flying colors. If you pass an exam with flying colors, it means you do great. So this picture is a cross between, you're trying to describe what it is, right? What this creature is. So that's the phrase that you would use at the beginning to describe it. So let's say you're looking at a piece of furniture. The piece of furniture might be a cross between a couch and a monkey, or some weird thing. You might be looking at a table. Maybe the table is a cross between a table and a watermelon or something, okay? So that's the first phrase I wanted to teach you. The second phrase the second word I want to teach you here is disproportionate. Okay, now there are two words in English that mean the same thing. You can choose which one you want to use. Disproportionate or disproportional. Both mean the same thing. Okay, so look at this picture with this weird elephant alien creature. Its legs are disproportionately skinny, right? I mean, if you look at its body is pretty big. That part of the body can be called the torso. Okay, so a person's torso is the main part of their body, from their neck to their waist. The middle part of your body is your torso. So we could say that the creature's torso is the main part, the main part of the creature, right? But its legs are really disproportionately skinny. Okay, so that would be a good word to use in this picture. So first you're going to say it's a cross between an elephant and an alien. Ooh, low battery, guys. I better rush through this. Sorry about that. So yeah, so the elephant's legs are disproportionately skinny. Now let's go to the next picture. Okay, we have this thing in the park. Okay, so the question might say, call your friend and tell them where you are in the park. Maybe your friend wants to meet you in the park. Call your friend and describe where you are in the park. Okay, so then you're going to call your friend. Say, hi, Cindy. I'm in the park right now. I don't know. Can you find me? Can you see me? Let me describe where I am right now so you can find me. I'm standing in front of a gazebo. Okay, so this is a gazebo. It's not a house. It's not a building. It's a gazebo. So it's important that you get the right word first. Now you could say this gazebo is really weird. Now in this picture, can you use cross between? You could say it looks like a cross between three things even. You could say a cross between a gazebo, a tree, and a banana split. Okay, that kind of ice cream with a banana is called a banana split. So you could say a cross between, but maybe in this picture, a cross between isn't the best word to use. You could say I'm standing in front of a gazebo, and the gazebo has a really weird looking roof. Its roof is a banana split, and it's surrounded by bird houses. Those little things where birds live are called bird houses. Okay, and the trunk of the tree is wicker. That kind of material is called wicker. A lot of furniture is made out of wicker. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to post my sample answer over on Instagram. But I mean, this is a weird picture, right? So can you use the word? Could you use the word disproportionate? You could say there's a disproportionately large banana split. But again, maybe disproportionate isn't the best one for this answer. So I just wanted to show you this picture to say maybe sometimes you might have prepared certain words to use, but then the picture they show you on task 8 isn't maybe the best fit for those words. So we don't know what picture they're going to show you, right? So let's go to the next picture. And so in this picture, what is it? This is a picture of a boy, and the boy is flying a kite, a really weird looking kite. So the question would probably say, you are in a park and you see something strange going on. Call your niece and describe what you see and ask your niece if she would like to join you. Okay, so you could say, "Hi Cindy, it's Uncle Mark calling here. I'm in a park and I see a really strange thing. Let me describe it for you." Okay, so the first description, what is this? There's a boy flying a kite. That's the most important line. Now you're going to describe the kite. The kite looks like a cross between a teddy bear and a pirate. Okay? And then you can use the vocabulary: an eye patch, pirate hat, peg leg, a hook for his hand, right? And you can say the string is really weird. It's a very futuristic looking string. It looks like lightning, okay, or something like that, right? Now, is there anything disproportionate in this picture? No, in this picture, to me, it doesn't look like there's anything disproportionate. So maybe that's not the best word for this one, but a cross between would be perfect for this one, okay? Let's go to the next picture. So this question might say something like, you are hiking in the forest and you see a very strange scene. So call the local conservation office and tell them what you see. Okay, so you would open the question by saying something like, "Hi, am I speaking to a park ranger?" So a park ranger is another name for a conservation officer. They are the people who protect the forests. Okay, so hi, am I speaking with a park ranger? Okay, good. My name is Mark and I'm hiking in the forest and I see something really weird. I think it might be a crime. So I just want to report this to you. Let me describe what I'm seeing. These flies want to they want to study for the CELPIP exam. That's why I'm being bombarded by flies, guys. So here's a good example of where you could use the word disproportionate, okay? And you could use the word a cross between. So how would you describe this? Well, what is this? This vehicle. What do you see? This vehicle looks like a cross between maybe a truck and a sled. There are skis under the front tires of the truck. So it almost looks like maybe a sled. And so, yeah, you could say it's a cross between a truck and a sled. What about the headlights? How could you describe the headlights? Those headlights are disproportionately large, right? So that would be a perfect time to use disproportionately. Now, what about that animal on the roof rack? Okay, the roof rack is slanted. It's not a normal roof rack. The roof rack is slanted forward. And what's the animal on the roof rack? That animal is called a walrus. Okay, so you could say there's a walrus on the roof rack. And I'm concerned that this might be a poacher. A poacher might be driving this truck. A poacher is a person who kills animals illegally, like who hunts animals illegally. So that crime is called poaching. Poaching. So you could say, "Hi, park ranger. I think I might have come across a poacher in the forest, and I want to report it to you." Okay. So does that make sense? These two phrases are I think are really going to help you a lot of the time. Maybe not on every question, but on a lot of questions they're going to help you. A cross between remember, you have to use the word lots of people forget that. a cross between a couch and an elephant. So remember, if the word starts with a vowel sound, it's going to be an, not a. Okay, so a cross between a Jeep and a sled, a cross between a table and a watermelon, a cross between a teddy bear and a pirate, a cross between an alien and a walrus. Okay, so this is going to be really helpful for you. And disproportionately. These are high-level words that are going to help you accurately describe a scene. If you guys would like me to give you more tips and vocabulary like this for Task 8, let me know down in the comments. I'd be happy to go through more of these. But like I said, I'll be giving my sample answer for each of these over on Instagram. So if you're not following me there, I welcome you to go follow me over there. There's no right or wrong answer, really. You could give any answer you want, but it's important to describe the scene accurately. So what is this? It's a picture. Well, it's a, like it could be, if it's a thing in real life, like a vehicle, then the vehicle looks like a cross between a truck and a sled. Okay, or if it's an animal. If it's a painting, then you're describing the things in the painting, right? So in the painting, there's a weird creature that looks like a cross between an elephant and an alien or something, right? So try to remember those words while you're preparing for the test. And anyway, that's it for today. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm happy to generate more pictures and weird situations and try to help you. Remember, all of Task 8, everything you see on Task 8 is going to be unusual, and it's going to have really high level, really specific words that maybe you don't know. So, guys, all the best. If you're taking the CELPIP exam soon, I wish you all the best of luck. I give you a like. You'll do great. So, I love you very much, and I'll see you over in the next episode of Mad English TV. Take care.